Hey, my air signs, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. It's Debbie. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back. And today's initial energy, preparing to walk away. Walk away from, it's also you're mirroring each other. So preparing to walk away from the negativity, walk away and walk towards. Lying to yourself about your connection, about how you feel, about who you truly are, about taking the leap of faith, about understanding your true purpose and knowing why we're here. And we're humanitarians. We're here to change the world. We're here to change lives. As we learn to heal ourselves and heal the inner child properly and move forward, there's always a part, you always will be healing. You have your major healing that is done through rejection of your masculine to the feminine, and hence get you, if you understand it correctly, you will heal that inner child. Knowing how to heal the inner child is what's important. So it's learning how to process it. Like you can go to the New Earth community. Sophia has on there things about inner child, things about third party. All of that is done for you to heal. So it is subconsciously done in you to be obsessive, right? In understanding when we obsess over our masculine, right? It is to get them to, reject you, and they are subconsciously done to, at first it's all that in and that energy, right? And then their heart chakra gets closed off in order so they can reject you. Otherwise they wouldn't be able to, because it's not something they want to do at all, because together you need the yin and the yang, right? You're learning to balance, and because of that, to get them to do that, they have to do that, because when you heal, you in turn, they heal. So you are the leader, the feminines are the leader. What we do, they then follow. It's the mirrored soul. And this is like a true mirror. So right now, it's a true mirror of walking away, walking towards, right? Walking away from the negativity, walking away from everything that's holding you back in life and moving forward. Okay. Can I have where the divine masculine is in the connection for the divine feminine for the air signs of Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra? One card at a time. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Don't try to get it to fit. Don't try to get it to fit. Okay. Stable beginning, right? They want to offer you that stable beginning. That's what they want. Walking away and walking towards that stable beginning. Okay. They don't want to settle anymore. They're tired of settling. They're tired of, settling for less, right? It's a lot of it has been because of their insecurities. They haven't felt like they've been enough to be able to give you, and hence when they don't feel it, it's because you have insecurities. Like you don't feel like you're worthy enough. You don't feel like you're enough, but you're stepping into your power in order to charge forward, and do the yin and the yang and have that victory over yourself. You got to learn to love yourself more than you love them, which is really difficult because we love them unconditionally, right? And it is you. So you are one. So you have to understand we are the same person. We are the same. We're not necessarily the same person because we have different personalities, but we have the same soul, the same essence, right? So you have to love yourself more than you love them, right? You have to focus on yourself. You have to get into your purpose, get into your mission, find your job, find out why you're here. What is your true purpose? What's your true purpose, right? And they're getting the strength to walk away. And it's not easy. It's not easy because they get in their comfort zone, right? But they're learning that if they don't step into their higher self, right, and move forward, get away from the obsession and addictions, right, they're going to be delays. There are going to be things that are happening in their life that hold them back until they do it. So the divine, the higher power, God, whatever you want to call it, is telling them, look, until you do what I tell you to do, these things are going to keep happening in your life. It's the karmic cycle. Karmic cycle will continue until they learn their lesson. Right? Can you clarify the Ace of Pentacles for me, please? Yeah. New beginning, new stable beginning, and going towards that union. Going towards that union, right? They do have a lot of anxiety over it. 4 of Cups. Right? And then they, like I said, there's movement. Movement and knowledge. Okay? Moving forward with you because they're no longer settling. Okay? The Chariot. Right? Then we go from the 8 of Wands to the 9 of Wands. 8 of Wands is message. So look for a message about being able to move forward, about I don't want to do the settling anymore, right? And I'm just ready just to do it. Can we have the strength, please? Can you clarify that for me? Strength is also sexual energy when it comes to twin flames. So they have that strong sexual energy, that strength. And they're trying to kind of overcome. They're trying to kind of overcome to get the strength that they need to move forward and not just look at it as the sexual energy, right? They're getting hindsight on that about the internet, about the commitment, right? About not being able to make that full commitment. So when it comes to that, what are you not committing to? Because when you don't commit, right, they have a problem committing. So it's committing to your healing, committing to yourself, committing to doing what you're supposed to be doing. You know, if you are fully committing and they aren't, they're there. They just need that little push, that nudge, not necessarily from you, but from God and the divine. I'm telling you, there's definitely, can I have the Hierophant? And the Hierophant is the divine masculine card, right? They're going into their higher self to find that perfect balance in order to move forward. So they get into their yin and yang because they have to balance, they have to get out of their logic and add some emotion to it, just as you need to get out of your ego, right, and emotion, and add some logic to it. So it is a death of the ego that they're having to go through. It's a death of the ego. So they're having to realize, you know, hey, I don't need to do all this to make them happy. I don't need to provide everything for them. I just need to be there for them, right? They're realizing, hey, when I am not in contact with my person, it all depends on your journey. It all depends on where you are in your journey, because everybody's in a different part of journey, okay? Some people have had no contact whatsoever and they're just learning more about themselves. Some people have had some contact, but they just don't realize it. Some of you have had, you're in contact, but you haven't met them yet, right? Or etc., 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 right? Right? You're in contact, you've met, but you don't see each other a lot, or you see each other all the time, right? Depends on the progress where you are in your journey, right? Where it's going to be. So it's not, so I'm not saying if you have just started your journey, I'm not saying that you're going to have union tomorrow. It's going towards union, because remember, the year of 22 is the year of Gemini. It's the year of the lovers, right? The year of the lovers. It's the year of beginning of union. 23 is celebration is union. 24 is getting together on your purpose and collaborating. So everything is being fast forward. It's on a fast forward pace, right? And it's not, and everybody's being forced to heal across the board. If you're choosing to heal is another thing. Learning to process and let go and heal properly is the key. And letting go of all negativity. Cut anything out of your life that doesn't support your true passion and desires. Okay. Okay. Can I have connecting energy, please? It's understanding who you truly are, and then we have, you know, going into the hermit mode, going into yourself, getting in touch with that negativity to see the light. So when we're in our darkest point in our life, or when we go inside, we're actually at our brightest point, because that's where we shine the brightest. That's where our light shines the brightest, is in that, right? To get to that 2 of Wands, which is, you know, they want to show you everything. They want to give you everything. You're the world, okay? And there's movement towards it, to the truth, to their Queen of Cups. I could keep going. But I'll show you the cards. Like I said, new beginning. This is stability. The Ace of Pentacles. Pentacles is stability. It's about grounding. It's also money, right? So money. They're trying to become stable, get into new stability, stable beginning with you to get into union. Okay. I want a new stable beginning. I want to get stable so I can have this beginning with you, right? That's what I'm going to do, because I'm not settling anymore, and I'm trying to tell you that, and I'm moving towards you, but you don't see the progress. That's what's frustrated. They're frustrated because you don't see it. You don't see it, you don't believe it. You don't believe it. You don't believe it. You don't believe it, okay? Because they are charging forward right there, the yin and the yang, okay? That's the victory. And they're like, well, I'm doing it. So the Eight of Wands, like we just had in that, the Eight of Wands is behind them, but movement to that new passionate beginning. They're getting the strength, right, to do that. Getting some hindsight, retrospective, about this is why you're not. This is why. Because you're not committing to your purpose. You're not committing to the connection all the way, 100%. But the problem is you don't believe it, so they're having a hard time with that, okay? And the Hierophant is the divine masculine, getting in touch with their higher self to make sure they're completely balanced out. Knowing that they need to balance themselves out, but you also give them the balance that they need, okay? Your connecting energy is that Hermit, which is where you go into your dark side, where you shine the brightest. Okay, because you are, and then once again, this is the Ace of Wands is behind us, right, with the Ace of Wands in front of us. So they're coming towards you to offer you the world. You are their world. You're their everything. You're everything to them. They may not say it, they may not show it, but you got to know it. Okay. Can I have you realize how much you influence them? How much you influence them, you don't realize. I don't realize how much I influence mine. A lot. A lot. Like I just mentioned something yesterday to them, and sure enough, when I saw them this morning, they had already done that. So it's like they really look up to you, and the things that you say, they take to true heart. They may not show it, right? They don't quite know how. Never been loved, and this is for a lot of you. And it was for me too. You've never been loved like that before. You never had unconditional love before. So you don't know how to accept it. How do I accept it? You put up your walls, you put up your boundaries. When we do that, we're just holding on to the pain instead of healing from it. And that's what keeps the connection apart. That's what keeps you separated. Okay. Can I have messages for the divine masculine and divine feminine for the signs of Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra? What would they say to them? What do they got to say? What do they got to say? Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. Okay. Okay. Yeah. This is true kind of across the board too, because everybody's stepping into their power. Anything else? Really, they just like, they want to talk, but they just can't right now. They're hurting too bad. I got 4 messages. 4. One more. Okay, that it? Okay. Let's see. We'll take the bottom one. Well, that's crazy. That's crazy. Okay. Okay. 4 of Swords. Please let me heal my past pain. Right? So they're trying to heal themselves. Like I said, get that balance. Go into the dark. Right? Face their darkness, face their negativity to move forward. Right? We are one. They know that you guys are connected. They know that you're one. Right? They take it for granted. It gets taken for granted. It does when they understand it. Sometimes they take it for granted. And what did I say? 5 of Wands. I've never been loved like this before. I don't know how to accept it. I love it when it matches what I say. Right? 3 of Hearts. 3 of Cups. There is someone else, but I want you. So there still is that in the background. That negativity that's holding on to them, that they haven't let go, they don't want. Sorry. They don't want that person, like I said, the 4 of Cups, right? They're not going to settle for that person anymore. They only want you. It is still part of that karmic lesson that they've got to learn, right? And letting go and knowing that they are good enough. They are enough for you, because that's the problem, is they don't feel like they can measure up to you. They put you on a pedestal, right? Ace of Swords, you are my truth. So they understand you are everything. You give them the truth. You are the truth of the matter, right? Because of you, I do everything for us. So they're 10 of Pentacles. is the the stable home, the house, the home, the family, everything they do, they're working up towards that for you, right? Okay, and because of you, I get out of bed every morning. So you give them motivation. Without that, they couldn't. Depression sets in, anxiety sets in. So you give them life. You give them a reason to get up. You give them a reason to try. You know, and they're realizing that. And without you, they just don't want to exist, right? And they do feel you. They do feel you. Sorry, upside down. I feel you leaving me. So you may not necessarily literally be leaving, but when you step into your power and you go forward, and you know, you focus more on yourself, and you're like, okay, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to put up with that crap anymore. They feel like you're leaving them, and it scares them. And that's what I've been saying. That's what I'm saying. They're getting in touch with the higher self, that I need to do all this to come forward, right? But you don't believe that they're doing it. You don't believe you're doing it because you can't see it physically. You can't go by physical. We want to, but you have to go by knowing. You have to go by knowing, okay? That they do. Believe it or not, this is really good energy. This is really good energy. It is clarification of them knowing that they cannot have a better life without you in it. You can have it can be a little bit better. They cannot have the life they want without you in it. You are the key. You are the key, right? You can find happiness on your own, but true happiness and desire is you. That full fulfillment is you. And they're like, crap, they don't want to admit it to themselves. They do not want to admit it at all because it makes them feel weak. It makes them feel weak. They don't want to feel weak. They don't want to feel weak that I need this in order to feel complete in life. You know, it's not, okay, so yes, you have to balance yourself out and find your own happiness, make yourself happy, right? They're on top of it, right? But without them, right, we can still move on in life. They can still move on in life. They're just not going to get to your full potential. You're going to feel lost and they're going to feel lost, right? You're always guided back to each other. So even if that happens, you'll always come back. There is an unbreakable bond. Energetic. You can never, ever really be separated because there's an energetic bond between you guys that can't be severed. It can't be severed. It can't be. So, it depends on how much work you've done, how much connection that you have to them, or how much you can feel him. I feel him all the time. I have learned how to block the energy because I was at the point where I couldn't do readings without him bleeding through and reading his energy. And now I can do that and set his energy aside and actually just get the whole thing because he's not even an air sign. So, I mean, even then he would bleed through. But it's hard when you're that connected to somebody to feel, because you carry their pain. You carry their pain, and then when you heal, that's what was very difficult for me during my healing process. And I'll be honest with you, is I was dealing with my healing from my childhood trauma, from the sexual abuse, from the neglect, from all of that, right? All of that. And as I healed, he in turn healed, I was carrying his pain at the same time. When you do go through that dark night of the soul and you truly break down and you face your pain, right? And you have to face your pain. You have to face your pain. You have to face your fears. Realize that happened to you as a child and you're looking at it from a child's point of view and you're an adult now, okay? It can no longer hurt you. Every tear is joy, brings joy. But realize as you're purging out that negativity, you're going to have a lot of negativity surrounded around you. That's why we say you have to isolate yourself. You have to get away from negativity because otherwise you invite more in. So you're real susceptible to it. So that's that's also, you know, and that negativity being an empath, you know, we take on that energy and you can't be around it. You just can't. The negative energy pulls you down It doesn't just pull you down, it slows down anything in your life. Um, it causes delays. Negativity will cause illness. It will cause, you know, abundance to slow down. Anything. So it doesn't mean, yes, there's a polarity, because you have to have a polarity, right? You have to have one with, you can't have just all positive. There is some negative in your life. It's just a percentage. It's a polarity. It's that balance. That's why we say you got to balance yourself out. Anyway, that's it for today. Till next time. Peace.